Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 17 of Just Jenni Lee. I cannot even believe it's been that many. That's so crazy. I wasn't sure that I would ever even have enough to talk about when I decided to do this, and now I have a huge list of things that I can't even keep up with. I have like Notepad open on my phone at night so that if I click the button, like it's the first thing I see, so that I can jot down ideas for just Jenni Lee and for the website and different things, because when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what was that really good idea? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. So, speaking of the website, I've been hard at work building the website, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. It looks so amazing. The backlog of artwork, though, that I need to catalog, document, photograph, all that stuff. Some of it's got to be signed, like this big guy behind me. Yesterday, I pulled it off the wall because I realized, oh my gosh, I have never signed this, which is the case for a lot of my artwork. And now people are like very insistent that they want artwork signed. So that was kind of an old school art snob thing that I did. I don't know why. So, anyways, I have to go and sign all of my work that's not signed, and some of it is under glass, and some of it is like in a shadow box type mount. So it's going to be quite an ordeal. I'm really thinking that if I can get like, I have 12 stickers listed. I've got like 6 or 8 paintings. If I can just get like a dozen of each category up and listed, I've already tested like the point of sale system, and all the legal stuff is already attended to. So I'm just trying to get enough stuff listed to make it worth your while to go visit. So as I was just checking out some of the paintings that I thought I might list, I was realizing that some of them, like the edges, just aren't that great, because even though I love the paintings, I wasn't really used to painting on canvases, because normally I do a lot of watercolor, and so my treatment of the edges was kind of lackadaisical. I used to be a custom framer. I technically still have a frame shop, but I don't like to frame my stuff, and so like on a whim I started painting the edges of the canvas or even wrapping the composition around them. But initially I was just painting them black and trying to, just cover it up. But some of them just need like a second coat, basically. And some of the line work in some of them, like the very earliest ones, probably needs a little help. Like this one is just terrible. I really wouldn't want to list that right now, even compared to the one I did directly after that. So I obviously learned a lot and developed a whole system and a process that I don't even really know how to articulate. But there's a clear-cut difference between this iteration and the most recent one that I just did, which is Eye on the Prize. So I thought I would hang out and paint some of these edges with a fresh coat of black, and maybe give them a little bit of love from the Sharpie. This one definitely could use a straightening of the black edge there. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best here to clean things up as best as I can and make it presentable. I don't want to be a perfectionist, but the edges have like a little bit of a wishy-washy look to the paint, so I'm not loving that. So anyways, all that to say, my topic for the day is the idea that I think as humans at this point in time, with technology being what it is, that you're either going to find yourself to be a consumer or a creator. I started to notice something. When I am spending a lot of time, I don't really want that to dry out. So I just want to add a little bit of like a quick spritz of water to it. I find that when I am consuming a lot of social media and reels and videos and going on YouTube and binging on things, I end up not doing as much creating. Now, you would think that it wouldn't be that hard. I could just choose to create when I want to, but as we all know, that content consumption can eat up into your day. There's like all these conspiracy theories going around right now saying like the time is moving faster and all this sort of thing. And I don't know if I believe that, honestly, but I would say this: time will definitely feel like it's moving faster when you always have something going on than when you're doing nothing. If you're waiting for time to pass and you're just waiting for the next thing, then time will seem to stand still. So I noticed when I was like doing a lot of social media consuming, that time would race right by. I would feel like I was not getting anything done. or it would help the time to pass by. Like I might be folding laundry, and so then I binge on a particular YouTuber's channel because, well, that just helps the time to go right by fast. So I would say it's more a matter of not that time is going faster, but that what we are doing while we are, you know, passing the time tends to make it seem like it's going faster. So I'm starting to discover something though in all of this crazy race to create all this content that I've been creating. I've noticed something. I'm either going to be choosing to create content or to consume it. I really don't have time to do both. Now, I can't say that I feel like time has necessarily slowed down now that I've started to focus more on content creation. On the contrary, it might even feel like it's going faster. And sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, the time is just whizzing by and I'm not getting enough done. But I tend to do a little bit of journaling each day, not a ton. Like I know some advice says a full page, some others say like vomit out 3 pages worth of, just whatever in the morning. I don't do as much as that. I might write a paragraph, a few sentences. I might write a whole page that day. It just depends. But in the entry that I was writing yesterday, I was listing off all the stuff that I have sort of accomplished or done in the time since I started the scarf saga back in December, when I thought for sure I would not have time to be doing that sort of thing. First of all, time already feels so short as it is. So I felt like there would be no way I would have time to do that. And it would also cut into time for other things. Like honestly, the real reason why I wasn't posting very consistently on social media for like the longest time was because I just felt like I didn't have time. I really didn't feel like I had time. So what was interesting was when I gave myself that little challenge, which was I was going to try to post a countdown to Christmas for as long as it took, and it ended up taking longer than through Christmas. I wasn't even finished by Christmas, but it ended up being like a 15-day little saga, which was really interesting to me because I had no idea that I could do that. And then I looked back and I saw that I got through the holidays and I got through them well. The dust is like eating away at the top of this thing. Poor thing. I found that I not only got through the holidays, but I got through them well. And that was really surprising to me because normally it's fraught with all kinds of, panic attacks and stress and just feeling inadequate and even just like past hurts and pains from other things in my life. And I really didn't have time for any of that. I wanted to keep to my own, I wanted to keep to my promise to myself that I was going to try to do this. I have no idea what made it so important to me because up until very recently before that, I was just like, I don't have time. Like, it's so annoying. I can't stand doing it. It's such a drudgery. Well, somehow doing that little scarf saga, just opened up my world and made me look at doing this type of content creation as my own way of expression. Somebody was kind of complaining yesterday on Facebook about how Facebook wants them to interact and engage with every single creator out there and to do a certain thing. And I was really excited for YouTube just to be like, I can make this whatever I want it to be. It feels like it's for me, I was saying I don't feel obligated to be overwhelmed with social media because I see it as another art medium. And instead of trying to model myself after other people's mediums, basically like another oil painter, I can't copy another oil painter, for example. I can't copy exactly another watercolorist. And even if I use their techniques, my style is still going to be uniquely me. So I realized something clicked over the winter time where I realized I can't copy other YouTubers. I can use other channels for inspiration, and I can learn from other YouTubers out there and even myself as I go along. But I don't have to look like any certain thing. I don't have to look any certain way. So what became a chore, or what was a chore, became actually a fun new way to almost paint, to almost create art. It's very personalized and expressive if you want it to be. You can keep your channel however you want to, as long as you're not, violating the guidelines. And I think that's really incredibly liberating. It's been such a pleasure to realize that the content creation wasn't actually hindering me working. It's inspiring me to work, and it's a space in which I can express myself in just another entire medium. So, I try to focus each day on the idea that I want to focus on content creation and not just content consumption. And it's not always easy. I wake up in the morning, I open up my Facebook just to see what friends and family have posted. And then, you get caught off on this tangent and that tangent. And then a link takes you over to YouTube. And before you know, you're scrolling through reels or watching another video. And so like, I try to be really good in the morning to just like briefly look quickly at the weather and maybe scroll through Facebook really quick. But I try to actually limit my morning time if I'm going to be on my phone at all, because I have really bad vertigo. So it's hard for me to get out of bed super early in the morning. It's hard for me to get out of bed quickly either. That can be actually really challenging for me. So if I feel like I cannot hop right out of bed that day, then instead I focus on editing videos instead of watching other people's videos. And I find that my time is just much more productive. And I'm not also then getting terrified about the state of affairs in the world. The world is crazy right now. I really do not care where you fall with your value system or your ideals. I know that for every single person on the planet right now, the world is crazy. I think it's undeniably so. And just like a week ago, I was in the sewing room actually ironing out some fabric for that scrap dress that I'm going to make. And all of a sudden I was just flooded. Well, first of all, my friend had texted me and I was like worried about some world event. And I'm sitting there ironing and I'm listening to my bossa nova music in the background. And all of a sudden I was just flooded with so much peace because I thought, I cannot do anything about that stuff. I legitimately cannot do anything about that stuff. But I can spend time with my daughter doing sewing and fiber arts. I can spend time with my husband playing games and making art. I can reach out to people on my YouTube channel and share what I do with them. And at the end of the day, I realized, what if it's all just a distraction anyways? How do we really know what we don't know? We don't. And so that may sound very conspiracy theorist, but it gives me much, much peace to know that I don't really have to participate in all that stuff as much as it's kind of demanded. All right. I'm not saying be completely oblivious. I would not encourage you to do that. I'm saying to be nervous about it, to be worried about it. I think there are sometimes like people who, they feel like they're doing something good for the planet by just being indignant at things. And I would say, if you're not actually working towards making your corner of the world a better space, I'm not sure if you're doing anything but hurting your own mental health. So at this point in my life, I realize it's actually been a blessing for me to be a content creator, because it has been something that has helped me to be less of a content consumer. And it helps me to be very selective with my content consumption and my time. And so that's kind of how I have been able to fit in all this stuff while taking care of, life and the studio and art projects and all that. It's been really fun to see how I can balance, how I can learn, how I can have shortcuts. I've come up with all kinds of different ways to keep, keep the camera rolling and editing throughout the day and being able to upload on a very consistent basis, which has been a lot of fun. So I am so excited that you are here. If you've made it this far, if you like this kind of content, I would love to have you like and subscribe and comment and maybe share with a friend who is interested in art. I am so excited to show you what I've got coming up with the website and all that. So just stay tuned and I will catch you in the next video.